We go. Fox News alert, Marines arriving in Los Angeles and joining the National Guard as anti-ICE protests continue for the fifth day, defying a curfew put in place by the mayor.
Jonathan Hunt is live on the ground in L.A. with the latest for us. Jonathan?
Ainsley, Lawrence, Brian, good morning to you. We are once again this morning outside the Metropolitan Detention Center, which has been ground zero for a lot of the protests and riots. And we want to give you a quick look at that. As you can see, National Guard troops are covering the entrance to the Metropolitan Detention Center. And as you look just behind them, you can see one of those white transport buses that have been used to bring in some of the arrested illegal immigrants into and out of this facility. And it was when one of those buses moved yesterday afternoon that the first clashes of the day really began. Police decided at that point, after having a couple of bottles thrown at officers who were escorting that bus, that they needed to push the protesters back. The protesters threw some fireworks at some point. They continued to throw bottles and rocks at the officers, so they pushed them back pretty strongly. There was once again just one more scene that really riled up the president, and he took again to X this morning to say that this is all the fault of California Governor Gavin Newsom. President Trump writing on Truth Social, the incompetent governor of California was unable to provide protection in a timely manner when our ICE officers, great patriots they are, were attacked by an out-of-control mob of agitators, troublemakers, and/or insurrectionists. Make America great again. Now, it's as a result of all of these riots that we've seen and the looting on top of that, that Mayor Karen Bass of LA introduced an 8 p.m. curfew last night. As that curfew began, hundreds of protesters once again tried to shut down the 101 freeway, which is the main artery running right through the heart of downtown Los Angeles. Police again moved in after the protesters cut through fences to get on to the 101. They started rounding them up. As we understand it, something like 67 arrests were made in all. And as all of this was unfolding last night, Governor Gavin Newsom decided to deliver his own address. It was very much in a presidential style, no doubt, with an eye to 2028. And Gavin Newsom once again took the Trump administration to task. Listen here.
This administration is pushing mass deportations, indiscriminately targeting hardworking immigrant families, regardless of their roots or risk. What's happening right now is very different than anything we've seen before.
And guys, we're just less than 1 hour from this first curfew being lifted now, and we'll wait to see if the protesters come back onto the streets of LA today. Back to you guys.
Jonathan, for the most part, when do you start seeing this stirring? I mean, here it is, 5 in the morning there. When do you start seeing this stirring of the protesters? What time roughly?
Usually, Brian, the protesters start gathering around 10, 11 in the morning, so we're about 5 hours from that point. So that's when we would expect to see them. We're checking all the social media channels, as always, to see where and how they are organizing. I have not seen any calls for them to get out on the streets as of yet today, but it's very early here in LA.
Jonathan, I always wonder, how can someone spend day after day protesting? Don't they have jobs? Don't they have to go make money? But then we're learning that maybe some of them are getting paid to do this.
Yeah, there is certainly organization behind these protests. And you've heard the LAPD Chief Jim McDonnell say quite plainly the people causing the violence, causing the real problems here, have nothing to do with the cause of immigration. They are, in the words of the police chief, professional anarchists who the police here have seen during the George Floyd riots, during the anti-Wall Street riots, and so on and so on. These are the same characters, according to the police chief, who keep coming out and have nothing on their minds but violence and mayhem.
Right, not even embedded in the cause. It's just doing chaos. Thank you.
Right.
So you got the homeless nonprofit. A homeless nonprofit is handing out PPE for people, as is the LA Poverty Department. Healthy Hearts, you would think, is there for people who need to eat. Instead, they're weighed into left-wing politics. They're looked at as a left-wing group supporting them. In Charlotte, the Coalition for Humane Immigration Rights not only got $1 million from Joe Biden's DHS, but also takes money from the Chinese. They're all over it, and Republicans are investigating 200 NGOs that might be promoting these illegal immigrants.
Well, it's the ideology as well, Ainsley. You got people in the kafiyas, pro-Hamas rhetoric that is there. I don't know what that has to do with immigration, but they're promoting that as well. And then I even heard some of the protesters with some of the interviews saying, okay, we have the Mexican flag here because this is really Mexico. So, I mean, we're dealing with people that don't believe in the West, that don't believe in America, that's trying to take us back in time. And there are connections to these NGO groups and all of these activist groups.
Yeah, and NGO groups, your tax dollars. Remember when Elon was starting Doge and he said, all the money we're giving to NGOs, we don't know where that money goes. We don't know how they spend the money, but that's American dollar. Those are American dollars. And President Trump was speaking at Fort Bragg. He said, you want to burn the flag? He said, I think you should go to prison for a year if you burn the American flag.
Well, look at this upside down with shows in distress.
Yeah.
Insane,
and the Mexican
on the
flag.
highway.
This is yesterday, too. So they have not wised up. You're not going to win over the American public to your cause with Mexican flags in Los Angeles. Kyle Scheidler he's with the Center for Security Policy, and he joined us early to talk about what's going into the planning behind this and where does this money go. Listen.
We have a lot of smaller groups who usually cover themselves as community organizations that do a lot of the crowdfunding to pay for this kind of equipment. You know, those masks that they were showing, they go for about $35 on Amazon. So they're not overly expensive, and they can raise several $1,000s pretty quickly. My guess is that they've been preparing to do this since before Donald Trump was president. The strategy, the overall strategy, the political imagery, that stuff will be determined in advance. What the topic is that they want this to be done on, and we knew that they were going to do this on border security and immigration for some time.
This online yesterday, and this is from Barack Obama in his book, The Audacity, Hope, and 26. He said, if I'm honest with myself, I must admit that I'm not entirely immune to such nativist sentiments when I see Mexican flags waved at pro-immigration demonstrations. Sometimes I feel a flush of patriotic resentment when I'm forced to use a translator to communicate with the guy fixing my car. I feel a certain frustration. Now, that's Barack Obama back then. And then you look at the Democratic Party today. I mean, he would be considered MAGA with a quote like that from his book. His party has totally lost it right now.
Well, and did you see on social media, I think we have a picture of it, the tactical gear that they're giving out to people who are rioting, and it's advertised on social media.
And
there it is.
There it is.
These are all the supplies you get if you go out there, according to Operation Healthy Hearts, which was that organization you were talking about, Brian.
Legal aid, travel, hotel stays, all that money and those equipment, money goes into these organizations and they're given out to the rioters. And guess who's firmly behind them? Gavin Newsom, who looks at Trump as the problem. Attorney General Pam Bondi is coming up in 10 minutes.
Can't wait for that. Fox News alert: California Governor Gavin Newsom is blaming President Trump for the riots in Los Angeles after a judge rejected Newsom's motion to block the Marines and National Guard from deploying.
This brazen abuse of power by a sitting president inflamed a combustible situation, putting our people, our officers, and even our National Guard at risk. California may be first, but it clearly will not end here. Other states are next. Democracy is next. Democracy is under assault before our eyes.
But the president says federal troops are helping save the city.
Called him up to tell him, got to do a better job. He's doing a bad job, causing a lot of death and a lot of potential death. If we didn't send out the National Guard, and last night we gave him a little additional help, you would have, Los Angeles would be burning right now.
Joining us now, the United States Attorney General Pam Bondi. Madam Attorney General, thanks so much for joining the program.
Thanks, Lawrence.
So tell me about this lawsuit, and what do you make of the governor blaming the president for the actions of illegals in this country, not abiding by the court order, the warrants to come pick them up, and the protesters that are now activists that are throwing stuff at the cops?
Well, Lawrence, evidently, Gavin Newsom has not been out to the scene. He has not turned on the television set to see the incredible amount of violence that is happening in Los Angeles. President Trump is going to make America safe again. We're going to protect Americans, and that includes Californians. If Gavin Newsom isn't going to protect them, we are. He also failed to declare an economic disaster. Had he done that, Kelly Loeffler and the Small Business Administration could have come in and helped all those businesses that were being looted. We could have given them federal funding, but he's refusing to help even his own small businesses in California. And if you loot a business in California during this, we're charging you with robbery under the Hobbs Act. No longer are the days of non-prosecution for looting. It's a criminal act. You've seen on the news all these stores being burglarized, vandalized. We've also seen, Lawrence, all of our police officers, all of our federal, state, local law enforcement officers being abused out there, trying to keep California safe. Jointly, we've all made over 190 arrests, more coming. If you hit a police officer, you assault a police officer, state or federal, we are coming after you.
So,
Molotov cocktails, no longer.
So tell us, the other day, I think it was a couple days ago on Sean Hannity's show, you released the FBI warrant out for this masked guy that was throwing bricks at the cops. What's the latest on that investigation? And have you found the other individuals that were throwing the bricks at the cops?
Yeah. More charges coming. He is now on the most wanted list. He is on the run, and that's where he better be. He should turn himself in because he is looking at federal prison time. They're going to find you. He thought he could wear a mask and get away with this, but with our technology now and incredible law enforcement work with FBI, DEA, ATF, working with ICE, working with Homeland Security, we're coming after you. We're getting these videos. We're seeing what you're doing. We're finding you. This guy's face is all over the news now, and we are going to catch him.
We're seeing a connection between these individuals on the street. You got the pro-Hamas crowd, you got the Greenies, you got the Occupy Wall Street people, and then you got these people that want to advocate for the illegals to stay in this country. I want to bring you to this DOJ case that you guys just opened against an Oakland coffee shop that were refusing service for Jewish customers. What's the latest on that?
You know, Lawrence, we shouldn't live in the world in which we live, where you would name a coffee shop Jerusalem Coffee Shop, yet you would, when a Jewish person comes in there, they're mocked, they're told to leave, they're said horrible names to because they're wearing a Jewish hat or a Jewish star. We're not going to put up with that. Under Title II, they cannot do that in our country. Listen to what else they did. After the October 7th anniversary, that horrific day, the anniversary of October 7th, after that, they added new drinks to the menu. One was Sweet Sinwar, in honor, a tribute to the leader of Hamas who tortured Jews, who orchestrated the October 7th attacks. That's the world in which we're living, that they do a drink honoring him and can't do that. And so we've sued them. And we're going to stop this from happening. And anywhere in the country, if you do this, we're coming after you. Cannot do this.
I mean, that's pretty egregious. I didn't know about the drink Yahya Sinwar, who orchestrated the mastermind. He met his piece when Israel took him out for the tragedy that he brought down on them. This is what their attorney is saying in response to this lawsuit. This is our view, is very much a political attack, and anti-Semitism, which is a very real problem in this country and in the world, is being distorted and weaponized. I mean, that reads like something straight out of Hamas's media organization that is trying to spin this. What's your response?
Yeah, they are promoting the anti-Semitism, not only promoting it, encouraging it throughout our country. We will not stand for it. We will protect our Jewish citizens. We will fight for them. I was on the scene, Lawrence, of that horrific murder involving, of course, the young couple leaving the Jewish Museum. Then after that, of course, look what happened in Boulder, Colorado. It's escalating. These words encourage escalation. Putting things on your menu that are so horrific, anti-Semitism, anti our Jewish population. We're not going to stand for it, and we're going to come after you. We're going to sue you, what we've done. So if you're doing this anywhere else in the country, you better stop, because we're going to find you. We're going to protect our Jewish community in this country.
Madam Attorney General, I only got about 30 seconds left, but I got to ask you, in that case regarding California, I know it's going to be Judge Breyer's son that is adjudicating that. I know that there's been a lot of lawfare going on. Are you concerned about that, or do you respect the merits of the case are going to be adjudicated fairly?
Oh, well, we respect it. We have arguments on Thursday morning, of course. This is, I assume you're talking about the Gavin Newsom lawsuit against us. I think it's our, Lawrence, I think it's our 270th lawsuit. Who's counting? Against the federal government since Donald Trump has been in office. But sure, we're prepared to defend it because we are prepared to protect our law enforcement officers out there, and we are entitled to do that under the law. And that's another reason, Lawrence, why one big beautiful bill needs to get passed, because we have no tax on overtime for law enforcement officers, and we will continue to protect our law enforcement. We need funding for law enforcement, and that's why it's so important also from a law enforcement perspective.
It's a big issue. LA is dealing with a shortage of cops, so I'm sure they can use the money as well.
Yes.
Madam Attorney General, we thank you so much for always being transparent with us.
Thank you, Lawrence.
You got it.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.